Okay, this is Tom Brady's 40-yard dash breakdown. All right. In this video, he ran a 5.28. Not the fastest time, but obviously we know Tom Brady's not known for his speed. He's known for his ability to throw the ball. Some argue he is the greatest of all time. I don't feel that way, but it's not the point. But, all right, we're going to get into it. All right, so we're going to start off with his starting position. So looking out right now, he has a nice flat back, slightly lean forward. All right, that's good. One thing that we're going to kind of fix, or I would suggest fixing, would be his head position. All right, it's flat, but he can relax his neck a little bit, relax his head, so he has a little more of a neutral neck position. Moving on, I like that his back shin is loaded and his front shin is loaded as well. Alright, digging down into ground. He could get a little more of a lean forward. That is going to help him really project out horizontally. But the reason why he's not able to do that, right, is reason 1 and 2, right? He's wearing tennis shoes. So I know it's turf field and probably didn't have the best technology back then, but tennis shoes aren't the best for all-out sprinting because you have no traction on the ground. You can't get into those positions no matter how well or how good you have ankle mobility and foot support. You need something that's going to have traction on the ground so you can get into a little steeper angles and help you project out forward, right? So with that being said, not a bad position. I'm just being a little nitpicky, but here we go, all right? So on to his first movement, all right? And we're going to pay attention to this back leg right here. Watch especially that Achilles, all right? So what I like is he is loaded and locked on both legs, and you can see him pushing on both legs. So I want you to really see how that back foot pushes into the ground, that first movement, and now he's projection forward, right? So like I said, if he has cleats or spikes, he get in a more steeper angle, right? And the more powerful of an athlete he is, the more he could ride it out a little more into this angle as opposed to what he's doing right now, which is getting a little more vertical in this angle. Still horizontal, but because of those two reasons, his power output and then also having no real traction or support with those feet, he can't get into a steep angle, right? So moving on, again, he gets out of his positions. It's not that bad of a position, but he doesn't ride it out as much, right? And we talked about this before. I'm not picky about low and high heel recovery off that first step as I used to be. And simply because it really doesn't matter as long as you're able to tag back, right? But we know it's here, right? I want you again, watch that front foot. So as he goes, it comes at this position. He should be trying to attack back. That shin angle opens and kind of kicks out, not too bad, and then comes back and he comes more down, right? So if we pause this position right here when he's on the ground, his shin angle is more like so, and his torso angle is like that. So his shin angle and his torso angle aren't really matching. So that right there is contrasting, which makes it, you spend more time on the ground. It means that you're not effectively pushing and projecting out horizontally, which we know is key for acceleration, all right? So now we're going to take a look at his upper body in particular up here, right? What I do like, his head is down, neck is neutral. It's a better position, right? So that helps him to push forward, all right? As we go, all right, he has big arms. It's not bad, but what we're going to see here is nice big arm swing, big rotations, right? Big rotations. Now, I know a lot of you guys seen a lot of things about rotation and specifically Goda, Woda, Boda, all that stuff. Rotation isn't bad. Rotation is good. It's just as long as it's not excessive. If it's excessive, it's too much, then it inhibits your movement ability and can have you running slower. But also on the other side, you don't want to be straight linear and be like a robot and think up and down. Right? So you want to have rotation, but you don't want it to hurt your performance. You want it to be a natural movement because we naturally rotate, right? So that being said, also I want you to pay attention. His shoulders, I don't know if he's shrugging up and that might be an arm mobility issue, or the fact that he's wearing a triple XL white tee. It could be either one of those, but he is getting big arm swing, which is good. It's just going across the body, creating a lot of rotation, right? So now we're gonna continue to move forward, right? He's not in a bad position. What I don't like is that he's essentially already up tall. He's already looking forward, and we're not at the 10-meter mark, right? So we're at 10 meter. We're not even at the 10-meter mark, and he's pretty much up tall. So he's taken away his ability to efficiently accelerate, and now his curve of velocity, he's gonna reach his max velocity and max speed quicker than it should. Now, we're not gonna debate how fast that is, but he's gonna reach that quicker than he should, which is gonna leave him running a slower time, right? So he's already up tall. He's not even at 10 yards yet, right? And looking at his upper body, it's not upper body, lower body. It's not a bad position because he's rotating, causes some issues, but it's not bad. He's landing slightly in front of the center mass, which is not bad. It's not a bad position to be in. And his legs, for the most part, his heel recovery, leg recovery is pretty good, right? He has that figure 4 position. So let me get into that figure 4, close to figure 4 position right here, where he's up. Right there, figure 4 position. It's not bad. It's really good. He has a slight lean. It's looking good right here, right? But we're at 20 yards. All right. Right, push, going through. Once we get here, because he's already been up tall for so long, you can only hold your top speed for so long. Typically about 10 yards, 10 meters. At max a second, right? So now from here, now that you can tell he's exiting his max velocity, his hips start to stay behind, so they're behind that way, and his torso starts to move slightly forward. So this is a change of position right here, right? This is when he starts to drastically decelerate. All right, so right here, and you could tell he's starting to really lean, and he wants to get to that finish line because he's like, oh, I'm running, right? And now you see the position again here. Hips are behind, torso's forward. So now he's contradicting himself, right? And he's having to overwork. He's getting more breakage, more ground contact time, overly leaning forward, and he's slowing down, right? So now he looks like an awkward position going forward, right? But other than that, his leg recovery isn't too bad. His arm recovery is not bad. Obviously, the biggest issue for him, besides the minor mechanical issues, is that he lacks the ability to produce high amounts of force. He's not powerful, and that's a big thing with speed, jumping, and explosive movement, right? He's like one of those athletes that doesn't have bad form, but they just don't go anywhere. So obviously, we know Tom Brady isn't fast, but this is a breakdown. So we're gonna bring it back and go at full speed and see it all the way together. And this was 528. Slow as you know what.